right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Ilan Sobel, the CEO of BioHarvest's Sciences. And Ilan, great to see you again. How are you?
I'm doing great. Great to be on the show again.
Yeah, so this one's really interesting. It has to do with the cannabis production and specifically trichome structure. So maybe you could explain to us, what is a trichome structure?
So let's first start with what is a trichome. Trichomes are the critical factories which actually produce the cannabinoids, the flavonoids, and the terpenes. And these trichomes actually sit outside the actual plant itself. They're connected through a short stem to the actual plant. And they are the mini factories that are producing the critical cannabinoids. Now, we at BioHarvest's Sciences, we are the only company in the world that has been able to grow trichomes in liquid media. Liquid media means bioreactors. Now, we announced today a new groundbreaking cannabis trichome structure, which really relates to the fact that we have developed the IP in order to produce what we call an amalgamated trichome coral structure. So what happens is that our trichomes, we figured out on how to have our trichomes all basically amalgamate together to form a coral-like shape. This coral-like shape forms almost like a protective shield that enables stable trichome development throughout the growth process. It enables critical mechanical stability of that trichome as we start to grow the trichomes in larger and larger bioreactors as part of the scale-up process. Because what happens, Steve, is as you move through from large to larger bioreactors to drive more efficiencies, you have greater shear forces that are applied by the fluid motion. And those shear forces can impact the trichome. However, with our unique IP, we figure out a way for those trichomes to amalgamate together to form a coral structure and to form this protective shield to be able to withstand the actual shear forces, allowing stable growth through the entire growth cycle.
So Ilan, am I hearing you correctly? And the reason why you're calling it groundbreaking and stuff is the fact that as you start to scale and get bigger and grow more of them, the loss, let's say, becomes a lot less because they're protected, because they're in almost like a cocoon together. And so traditionally the way it's done now, they're separated and you may lose some along the way. This protects them a little more. Is that kind of accurate?
Look, there's two aspects. One aspect is, if you look at traditional cannabis, whether it's indoor or outdoor, when you're getting the cannabis biomass, you're getting a combination of trichome plus the leaf plus the stem. We only grow trichomes. Okay. So for us, you are getting a grade of cannabis that the market has not seen before, because our biomass is a combination of the cell and the trichome. So for us, as we scale, we're now moving down the commercialization path, Steve, to be able to scale our technology. And scaling means moving to large bioreactors. The larger the bioreactor, the more efficient we are. So obviously, as you move into larger bioreactors, you have more what they call shear forces, which is basically forces that are applied by fluid motion, because the bioreactors, they're liquid. So what we've been able to do is, in order to make sure we protect these trichomes, right? Because remember, we don't have the leaf, we don't have the stem. We are, literally the purest form of cannabis, because it's the trichome is all we grow. So to protect these trichomes, our scientists figured out a way to be able to amalgamate these trichomes together in a coral-like structure. And if you look at the pictures, and hopefully you'll show a picture in the report, you'll see really what looks like the little round trichomes, transparent trichomes, all coming together, forming a coral-like structure. And this coral-like structure almost forms a protective shield, shielding the trichomes against the shear forces, which then allows us to really scale the manufacturing of these trichomes.
And is that something you plan to do over this year? Like, is the commercialization still on target for this year?
Absolutely. You know, we're in full commercialization mode now. We've communicated to the market the focus on bringing cannabis product to the market by the end of the first half of 2022. So for the team, this is their number one priority right now, is the scaling and the commercialization of our final cannabis product that we're bringing to the marketplace.
All right, Ilan, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much. Great update. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve. Have a great day.
All right, there's Ilan Sobel, the CEO of BioHarvest Sciences.